Hello and welcome to Smart Life, your one-stop destination for creating a smart personality that will help you impress people and earn a lot of money. Smart Life presents psychological tricks of writing a resume. Writing a good CV or a resume is the first and the most important step in finding a new job. From the psychological point of view, its role is to generate a positive signal in the employer's brain, influencing his or her decision to invite us for an interview. This process is largely driven by seemingly irrelevant factors which we can use to increase our chances of being successful. The first insight relates to the way our brains process information. If you are applying for a job in a certain area, the conventional wisdom is that you can include qualifications and experience from other areas as well, in order to show a diversified set of skills. From the psychological point of view, this is not the case. Employers hold a certain idealized image of a candidate in their heads, and the selection process involves unconsciously comparing a given candidate to this image. The more a candidate deviates from it, the lower is his or her perception of suitability. The crucial part here is that even if you perfectly tick all the boxes, your irrelevant qualifications and experience will generate a signal of deviation from this idealized image, decreasing your perception of suitability. It means that if there are two candidates with comparable level of relevant experience, the employer is more likely to choose the one without any irrelevant experience. The more irrelevant information you put on your CV, the stronger is the signal of deviation from the idealized image, and the worse is your overall assessment. It means that it is very important to tailor the CV to each job and remove irrelevant information. Remember, when it comes to our CVs or resumes, less is more. Another insight relates to the way our brains conduct valuations. According to our intuitions, employers should value multiple qualifications, and the more relevant qualifications we have, the better. The reality is, however, that when it comes to valuing things, our brains don't sum up information, but rather average it out. For example, your partner would be more satisfied if you gave them an expensive present rather than if you gave them this expensive present together with a cheap one. Your partner's brain will not add the values of these two presents together, but average them out. This makes him or her more satisfied with only the expensive item, even though, from the rational point of view, it is better to get this item and something else on top of it. By analogy, if you hold a high value qualification, like a degree from Harvard, adding a master's degree from a low ranking university will work to your disadvantage. A resume with only high profile qualifications will generate a perception of a highly valuable candidate. If you add to this CV also medium or low profile qualifications, this perception will decrease, lowering your chances of getting a job. The same applies to jobs of different levels of prestige in your employment history section. The trick here is to only put on your CV information which is not only relevant but also associated with the highest perception of status and prestige, rather than listing every single qualification or job that you had. You should also keep in mind that human brains are extremely efficient in creating split-second judgments about others. In fact, employers only look at the CV for a few seconds before deciding whether to shortlist it or put it in the bin. Here comes another trick, namely, increasing the cognitive ease of the employer, making advantages for a decision. This can be done by placing relevant keywords in strategic places, which can quickly generate signals of your suitability. The keywords relate to the desired job title or the crucial skills listed in the requirements section of the job advert. They should be placed strategically. Eye tracking studies have consistently shown that the human visual search process follows the F pattern. We first look at the top left of the page, move the eye gaze to the right, then skip a portion of the text to look at the beginning of a new section and move to the right again. These section openers are the most salient places on the CV. If you put the keywords there, you will ensure that they become the actual visual input used by employers in the process of decision making. Remember that stimuli, which are easy to process by our brains, receive more favorable reactions. This is also the reason why people with shorter names are evaluated more positively. Use this insight and present the structure of the CV in a clean and intuitive way. Do not be afraid of leaving some blank spaces, as it reduces the visual complexity and increases the cognitive ease of information processing. Another trick is to use the power of various heuristic tricks such as social proof, authority appeal, or propinquity. Social proof refers to the fact that the higher the number of people agreeing with something, the more credible it appears to us. Social media such as LinkedIn nicely facilitate this by allowing other people to endorse our skills. The same applies to the authority appeal. We are more likely to be persuaded by people who are liked and trusted and seen as authority figures. For this reason, it is always a good idea to target influential and respected individuals on senior positions for references and endorsements. Remember about the rule of averaging out instead of adding up. If we have several endorsements from high profile figures, it is better not to dilute their voice by adding multiple endorsements from medium or junior level contacts. Counterintuitively, it is better to go for fewer endorsements but from high profile figures rather than huge number of endorsements from random people. However, if we are unable to secure a decent number of endorsements from high profile individuals, it is better to have as many endorsements as possible from whoever we can. Another heuristic is propinquity, which relates to preference for objects and people with close physical proximity. If you live close to the workplace you are applying for, put your location on the CV in a prominent place. The more signals of close proximity to the workplace you send, the more you trick the employer's brain into preferring you over other candidates. Finally, the homophily heuristic relates to the fact that we like people who are similar to us. It is a very powerful mechanism as similarity has been empirically demonstrated to be the strongest predictor of interpersonal attraction. If you know who's going to review your CV, you can have a look at this person's social media to check his or her interests and hobbies. You can then put mutual interests and hobbies on your CV. The same applies to any other shared information. For example, if you happen to come from the same city, or you went to the same college, or work for the same company as your prospective employer, in this way, you will increase the perception of similarity and get a more favorable reaction. Finally, the last of such factors is our name, which is the most perceptually salient element of a CV. Research shows that the content of our name is unconsciously used to form opinions about us. For example, a candidate with a surname Sell or Sellers would have an advantage over other candidates in marketing roles. That is because this surname unconsciously biases the employer into evaluating the candidate as being better able to sell stuff. By contrast, if your surname is Flop, it would put you at a disadvantage. Similarly, resumes with ethnic minority names are less likely to get interview invitations relative to identical resumes with white sounding names. This is due to implicit racial biases which are present even in people who, on the explicit conscious level, do not hold any racial prejudices. Names which are short and easy to pronounce also receive more positive responses. You can use this insight and change the name on your CV to make it sound more mainstream and easy to read. Names related to the area of work you are applying for would give you an additional advantage, as well as names associated with perception of high status and prestige. The strongest trick, however, would be to put a name which is similar to your prospective employer's name, or at least which starts with the same letter, although that is not always in our control. People consistently demonstrate a positive bias towards others with similar names because of a phenomenon known as implicit egotism. You should also add middle initials to your name, which, according to research, increases the perception of competence and credibility. Following these psychological hacks for your resume are sure to get yours shortlisted. Do try these and let us know which particular tip worked the best for you. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it interesting and useful. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content on the fascinating subject of psychology. I'm going to do another video on psychological tricks for job interviews. So stay tuned.